I've always been interested in the look of a local area. I mean, any area really. I mean, I'm just generally interested in architecture and street scenes. I suppose in my drawings, I've tended to go back to recreating the look of the old days because obviously it's not around anymore. I mean, I often think perhaps I should have a go at doing some modern scenes. I've done one or two up to date ones, but I tend to get drawn back into the pre-war era. I mean, it's much easier to draw, for example, a pre-war car and make it look good than it is to do a modern car for some reason. And a lot of things you could say the same of, really. But then again, I just like the whole ambience of that era. I could just sit down and draw it from my head, or I can draw it actually looking at pictures or street scenes. Yeah, it's just something I do for relaxation mainly. Yeah, as I say, it doesn't really have much of an economic value. It's just something I do as a relaxation now. It's absolutely right what a professional artist say. You do get a better result if you go out and do it actually facing the object you're painting or drawing. No question about that. I'm particularly interested in transport. Certain types of old buildings, cinemas have always had a great fascination. It's very much part of a passing scene. It's something I like to draw and sort of recreate, perhaps in paint or pen and ink, just to sort of just to bring something different out of it from what you see when you look at an old photograph. You can't get it as accurate as a photograph, but you can sort of bring out one or two elements which aren't quite so obvious in a photograph. I mean, that's not easy to quite put your finger on, but you know when you look at a picture if you've achieved it or not. We were doing the Barton Fair, and I was drawing a collection of pictures to just be available for. We did some for a modest amount at the time, as I daren't call them prints, because truthfully they were photocopies. But it was just to get a good spread of the public buildings in Barton and Tredworth. So obviously I did old buildings such as a Picturedrome and the railway crossings, and then I did them for standout modern public buildings, which of course would be the two mosques and various other religious buildings which came to my notice, just to sort of create a spread of interest really. Well, it's immediate, I suppose the professional artist would say. In other words, you just sit there and draw it. You don't have to fiddle around getting a paint out. Just found it very easy to just get a pen, and if you were doing a drawing which you were going to copy, for example, you could just get an ordinary black biro and produce a really nice drawing very easily. Whereas on a few occasions when somebody said, please do me a drawing to hang on the wall, then I had to go and get a proper piece of watercolour paper and a proper pen which is actually going to last when it's hung up in the sun, and do it properly. And strange to say, it very seldom comes out quite as well as the one you do with a biro, because it's much harder using a proper tool. So it's very hard to actually get a really relaxed looking drawing. It takes a lot of practice.